Positive Living with Autism. I'm Benjamin, your host. The audio great videos are coming out. I'm going to have more coming one more sooner than we do. But anyway, welcome to the show. And today's video is about, as you know, we know a great deal on transition. Today we're talking about emotions and grief and emotions and feeling things. And I wouldn't wait for the title of this, what we're going to kind of call grief. I'm grieving with emotions and stuff like that is not an easy thing for me. I'm wanting that, but I'm doing it. I'm really working on how to feel my feelings and, you know, show emotions and talk about what's really going on in my life and, you know, walk through my parents' divorce, which is sort of what I'm working on right now, is what did I feel? How did I feel? And when emotions come up now, I usually just used to shove them down and not really talk about them. And now I'm talking about them. And that's, you know, pretty powerful message. You know, I remember I remember going back and forth to my parents' house when they got divorced, literally having to take one thing to another thing, and then and how crazy that used to make me. And how, you know, that back and forth is really hard because you live in two different lives. So on the weekend and weekdays you go to parents, you go to mom, and wife's dead and you go to dad. And you know, that feeling of not having, that feeling of shutting down. I remember shutting down in high school where after a while I couldn't trust anybody because I thought everybody was choosing sides, and if I talked to somebody was going to pick one side over the other side versus vice versa. And you know, as I shared in this video, when I was a little kid, I just shut down and I started screaming, I don't trust people. And that's a big deal for me, emotion-wise. I think there's a part of me that still has a very much of a 10-year-old emotional state in me. And, you know, I'm learning how to be an adult and learning how to walk through the process of feelings. And I've done a lot of stuff. I've talked about it. I've done a lot of stuff with people who've really helped me open myself up to this new idea of myself and a change that I can create. And it's funny because I'm walking through it and other things are happening. You know, and the really cool stuff. I'm learning to be a lot more stronger in my faith. I'm learning to sometimes let my autism come out. And I'm learning to process stuff I've never processed before. And grieving is not easy. Crying is nothing I do very well at. It will come out when it comes out. I know that. I've continued that mantra a lot to myself. It comes out when it comes out. And yet, even though I don't think I'm doing it right, I'm actually doing it right in the dot. And not an easy subject. Talk about grief and crying and emotions, but I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to talk about it today because I know it has to be talked about in the autism community. We can't. I myself cannot keep pushing stuff down and shoving it down. So in a little while we're going to be talking about this stuff. We're going to really get deep down. There's a lot of cool, interesting things in these videos from now on. Because I need to, and you need to. You need to talk about stuff that doesn't get talked about a lot. The shame and the guilt of life, and that life hurts. It's going to suck every once in a while, but yet life will get better. That's what I'm learning. That I have to go through all these grieving processes, and I have to be a stronger person, but not because there's something better on the other side for me. You know, it's that I see this as the part of life I need to be at right now. There's something better, that life is going to get much better at the end of the road. And that grief and pain and misery are a touchstone for me. They're really they say, okay, what's really going on? What are you talking about? Someone told me the other day, well, if you know, I don't necessarily need to know what the pain is all the time. What it's about. I just know it comes up. My whole complete body shakes, and I feel nervous and anxious, and I don't know how to express it. one of my things is avoiding about emotions in children and how they handle emotion. They cry. We adults are the ones who don't think it's too big for us to cry or whatever. I think, the outside autism community needs to do a lot better of teaching emotions to kids and autism. They're doing good at it. But we need to figure out a way to tap into that area. Because it's a very powerful area of crying and emotions and grief and wanting to help other people. And just to be listening to them, really listening to what their feelings are about, and really just being there. There's something called Stephen Minter, I've never heard of it, but I've read stuff about it, and it's really a powerful thing. And just being there to listen to people, and not judging them, not saying, oh my God, that's wrong, or that's bad to feel that way. And I had a lot of people say, that's bad to feel that way, don't feel that way. And today it helped me to sort out my emotions and my feelings and say, okay, it's okay. I'm allowed to have those feelings. I'm allowed to feel sad today. I'm allowed to feel angry today, but not allowed to let it control me and tickle my body. And I hope, in this journey together, that we can figure out, feelings, and I don't want to talk about them. But I know a lot of people with autism also who feel the same way I feel, which is sadness, anger, resentment, fear, anxieties, and worries over life things that we don't always know. I think autism is a gift. I've been reading some books about spirituality and autism, and there's a gift there. And we have power telepathic. We feel the vibes and emotions of stuff, and even though we can't talk about it, we can express it through iPads or whatever, And I think that's this cool special right now of this, that we're booming into a totally new spiritual realm of autism and what's gonna really be a part of it. And I get to enjoy part of it, which is blog. And for me, the spirituality of grief is that I don't understand the cosmos and chakra or any of the other stuff. I don't know what they all mean, but the power of my energy, where it flows, is very powerful for me. I've never thought about my power of my energy, how much my energy flows into grief, and how much I buried so much of that stuff. And now that I'm not talking about it, a lot of my energy, a lot of my grief, and a lot of those, my body is finally releasing itself, and I can finally have freedom to do things I want to do, just blog and clean my apartment, whatever, just random stuff. Be there for people who really need me. Be there for them, and that's pretty powerful. If you really think about it, it's so powerful that I'm saving people's lives today, and helping people, and changing the world through small, intermediate changes. And my parents, the grief of my parent, my dad, and him abandoning me, and that feeling of abandonment, and just the feeling of not trusting people. It's a big deal for me, and I think I gotta relate to that. It's a big deal, but I'm wondering, how do I go? Okay, deep breath. Everything's gonna be okay. Life's gonna happen on life's terms, and I'll walk through it. I'll be a better person. That a new day will shine, as I say, a new light will shine in the day. And the anger comes up, the sadness comes up, the challenges come up, but yet just that idea of a new day, and that in that coping of the grief, there's a place that we all can go to and feel loved. And I want my blog to be that. My Facebook page to be a place where you can come to and go, okay, this is my issue today, what do I do? And not feel judged, and not, get the biggest, I get advice, but get a listening ear. And vice versa, you've been really good at that, being my listening ear. And so, transition and feelings is not easy for me to talk about. It's hard to explain, because in transition you think you're going from place to the next. For me, I'm going from one feeling to the next feeling, but I'm also going from grief to happiness and learning how to let go of. That's a transition for me. That's a change. I'm so used to always being stuck in that moment of not changing, not being stuck in what all this spiritual energy is inside of me, to just negative energy that just doesn't want to let go. And letting go of all that. That's the transition for me. Thinking about a new way to think, thinking about a new way to live, thinking about all this cool, awesome stuff. That's transition. That's learning to think in a different way. And that's transition. Big time change and grief and mourning and loss and all this other stuff. And that's change. I know people without autism who go for the kind of stuff I'm going through. The last of their identity and the last of who they are. But I tell you, if I can go through it, so can everybody else. Thank you, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.